welcome back to River City Studios in Grand Rapids, Michigan for another episode of Local Rigs. I'm Charley V, and today's episode we have PerShayla. Thanks for coming, Patty.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm PerShayla. I am a full-time singer-songwriter here in Grand Rapids. I do a lot of solo shows in breweries, and I also have a full band, PerShayla and the Mayhaps, where I play bass guitar and sing, and we're a power trio, as they say, so I fill in a lot of space there, and I'm glad to be here. So today, for my rig breakdown, I could not bring every instrument, so I just brought my semi-hollow guitar, my little small but mighty amp here, my shared pedal board for both rigs, and my bass. And I'm going to start by talking about the Sheraton 2 in Roman numerals. All right, so this is my semi-hollow Sheraton that I've had for about 5 years that my dad helped me buy. I did a self-produced record back when I was like 19, 20 years old, and that was mostly acoustic. Most of what I write on my own is acoustic, but I started experimenting with this a little bit in my early 20s, and then this past year, actually, I started just bringing it out to shows and sort of fell in love with it because I'm starting to get more into rock and roll, good old wholesome music. I don't honestly know a ton about the technical specs of this. I do know that these are humbuckers and they sound lovely. So normally I have this switch set to the middle. Every once in a while I'll switch it up. When I was in a Police tribute band, I used this quite a bit for a lot of the upstrumming reggae-ish inspired lines. And every once in a while, if I drop it down, I like to go down and make it a little more bassy. And I'm still experimenting a lot with tone. I typically keep it pretty clean, unless I'm really trying to punch, but then I usually use pedals for distortion. And I really like the way that this pairs with my amp there. So I run the semi-hollow through this PV Classic 20 that I've had for a few years now. I actually inherited it. This was my father's. It is small but mighty, like me, and it doesn't do clean terribly well. So I usually have the volume set very, very low in the single digits, and then crank that master up, and then just use the pickups on my guitar to decide if I want more bass or treble, and I don't want to mess with the amp too much during a live setting. Every once in a while I'll turn that master down quite a bit and then crank up the volume and get some nice garage Black Keys inspired tones out of it. So first, here I have my D'Addario tuner that was gifted to me. It's pretty spectacular. You can change the number of hertz. Wow, if you want to get fancy and if you buy into the conspiracy that the Nazis are making our A equals 440 hertz instead of 432, which is what the Earth is tuned to. So I experimented with that a little bit, but it just makes it hard to play in bands. So I don't mess with that. 440 is what I use, in case you were wondering. Then I have a big muff that I am currently loaning from Mr. Conrad Schock. We're in a band called the Oohs and Ahs, which is stoner slash doom slash progressive, I don't know, weird cult rock. This is held together by duct tape and faith. I want a variation of this for myself in the future. Black Arts Toneworks Pharaoh Fuzz is what I would really like. Currently, what I own is a Rat pedal, which I don't like for my bass. I do like it for my guitar, but it's a new Rat, not an old one, a Proco. Anyway, this Big Muff, though, I do like. It is very crackly when I turn the knobs, which I think is a lot of fun. I just like to see the lights go on. It brings me joy. The tone knob is mostly what I adjust here, and then the volume, depending on like how distant or present I want my bass to be. And then this is a lot more crunchy in your face, like cheesy metal grit, and then this is a little more distant too, is my understanding, if I remember correctly. Then I have this beautiful, I'm still figuring it out, but I use it a little bit with my bass in the ooze, not so much in my full band. This is an Earthquaker hummingbird tremolo that I like. I really like surfer tones, and I really like cheesy Western, like spaghetti Western tones. I have to see that light go on. I like a nice choppy, I do a cover of Love Her Madly by The Doors that you can watch on my Facebook or YouTube that I use this a lot on. And then I like a nice, good rhythm, but we'll get into that later. And then I have a delay, which I have been experimenting with a little bit, not so much on bass, but on my electric guitar. This is currently set to a nice, like, you can feel the pulse a little bit instead of just a nice reverb kind of feeling, which is what that would be. And that is all I'm rocking. So I'm a self-taught player. I've been playing bass for 2 years now, and that kind of flew by. I learned a lot from my guitarist because he's more riff-oriented, and I've always been playing guitar for many years, and I've been using that kind of as accompaniment for my voice, which is my main instrument, I suppose. I am the instrument, if you will. I am in exclusively three-piece bands, which is very interesting as a bassist because then I kind of just marry the drums to the guitar or piano sometimes, whatever I need to. So this is Shayla, my 5-string Sterling sub-series Stingray bass in beautiful seafoam green. It is the only 5-string bass that I found that didn't look like a bloodied axe. I really appreciate this as somebody with small hands that I can access like lower notes. Instead of way down here, I can just hit them here and play scales a lot easier. I also just, especially in my stoner rock band, really love just playing that low B and just feeling it in my teeth. I play pickless for slower songs and songs where I feel like I really want that like nice smoother sound, but I actually play with a pick most of the time. Controversy about that. People are really passionate about it. It's just whatever you want, do it. That's how I believe it. I like these orange Tortex Dunlop boys so much. I just throw them around. I shed picks. That's where they all go. That are in my dryer. So it's only got 3 knobs and it's an active pickup. Most of the time I keep it pretty clean. I don't play slap very often. I just don't feel it in my person. So I don't like a ton of treble, and I like nice warmer, not super punchy tones with this.
Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Local Rigs. Make sure to check us out on all our social media platforms, subscribe and like, and also check out Patty PerShayla on her social media platforms. Like, subscribe, smash buttons, do whatever you want to do. Thanks. See you next time.